Hey, hey, hey. How is everybody today? Oh, on this Wednesday afternoon? Yeah. Ah, jeez. I'll spill my water everywhere. Oh, I have a fun little project I'm gonna paint, so I thought I could use some company. So let me show you what I got. So first of all, so this is kind of like spring and summerish, but it actually could be a great Mother's Day present too. So that's something. So if you watch my stories or see anything on Instagram, I just painted this buffalo plaid door hanger, but it's going to have this cute little flower pot on it. So then, and it might say, I don't know, I'm kind of trying to decide if I'm going to put something on there. Like maybe it will say like, hello there, or something like that, something cute. So anyway, I'm working on painting this. So let's see how this goes, because I actually don't think I've ever painted, I don't know. Can't really think that I've painted any flowers. So anyway, we'll see how this goes. I'm thinking pink, so I've got, hi sis. This is like a really dark fuchsia. This is called vivid pink. I've got bright pink, and then I got a little coral. So I don't know which ones. Haven't quite decided. I might scratch the hot pink and go with the other two. But anyway, so there's that. What are you doing this afternoon, sis? So I guess I'm kind of going with the picture of like 3 flowers. So I think, so I don't know, I'm not exactly sure with the yellow background. Do I want like an orangey kind of clay pot look, or do I want like a kind of a brown pot? Can't really decide. So I'm gonna start with the flowers first. So I know I definitely want like a pink one. So I'm gonna go with this vivid pink first, and we'll see how that goes. Oh, still got to work on the washer, huh? Well, good luck with that. Okay. I seriously don't even know what brush I'm going to use. These are my favorites, so I don't know if this is going to work for a flower, but I'm going to go with this one. And I am going to kind of start with my flower kind of here in the middle, and the top in the middle. So we shall see. First, I'm going to kind of try to outline a little bit. Probably, you can't even see it all, can you? Oh, my husband's sawing, so. Don't throw the washer over the balcony. I know it's tempting. You guys have struggled with that, but. Okay, so here's where I'm at first. I'm just kind of going to outline and kind of get an idea of where I want this little flower to be. Okay, so there's kind of that one. So I'll kind of paint that in real fast. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but my husband is cutting some wood for me so I can make some little firecrackers. So if you're wondering what that is, like I said, you might not be able to hear it at all, but that's it. Okay, so here's our little pink one. So then let's try, I'm gonna go for a little, this is the darker one. So this is the fuchsia one. So we're gonna try that. another little brush here. So I think this time I'm gonna kind of go this area. So I kind of just drew this little, I found a picture, like a little piece of clip art online, and then just kind of sketched it out onto the wood, and I painted it white just so that all of the color will show up a little bit brighter. So I don't really have much of a pattern to go off of, but that's okay. And I don't really know what kind of flowers I'm painting. They're just cute. Okay, so there's that one. So now let's see. Should we go for hot pink or the coral color? I think I'm gonna go for the hot pink. I just think the pink and yellow is so cute together. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Okay, so, and I don't know if I told you, there's like a spot for 3. So I'm only going to do 3 little flowers here. So I'll just kind of start in this little area. Kind of not fitting in there right, so. Okay, so there's kind of my other one. That's bright pink, but that'll be cute. Okay, so there's kind of what I have so far. 3 little flowers. We'll let that dry, so I'm gonna go back and we'll do some leaves. So I've got kind of, I'm gonna play with both of these. So this is a little bit darker, and this one, so one is, geez, more of a Kelly green, so it's pretty dark, and this one is citrus, so just kind of use a little bit of those. And the nice thing is that if you try it and don't like it, you can always paint over it or add some white to it or something to kind of change it up if it's not exactly the color you're going for. So that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna stick with, got a little bit bigger of a paintbrush this time to kind of make those little leaves. So we'll see. So I'm kind of trying to save the little spikier pieces. I tried to use like the rounder ones for the flower. So I'm just gonna start down here. I'm gonna kind of paint up as close to the flower as I can, but like on some of these I didn't get all the way to the edge, and truly I'm not I'm not worried about it. So it's just gonna be what it is. So then out here in kind of some dead space before I get to the flower pot, I'm just gonna kind of make a little leaf. So kind of like that. So I had this little spot I knew was gonna be a leaf, and then I just kind of colored that one in there. So then I'm gonna go back up top, kind of do the same up here. So there's a little bit of that one. Now I am gonna add some darker green, but I think I'm gonna stick for the most part with this light one. There. Okay. Now I probably want a little bit of a leaf down here. Okay, so here's what I've got for that little green leaf. So now I'm going to take the little bit darker and add a few little leaves in there of that. Not very much, but just a little bit. So now I'm going to use a kind of a smaller brush so that I can get down in those little spots. So anywhere that's kind of in between, kind of where it looks like it needs to be filled up, that's where I'm going to kind of add this particular green. Kind of like right through there. So I'm going to work on getting some of those in there. Just kind of here and there in different little spots. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means. Okay, so I just kind of added that little green in there everywhere. Now I just need this kind of dry, and then we'll go back and add to the flowers. But, all right, help me decide here. What am I gonna do my flower pot? So let me remind you, it's going to go on this yellow, I'm like, I can't see over it. This little buffalo plaid door hanger. So I don't know. I'm trying to decide between like the typical, like kind of orangey terracotta, or do I want to do like a gray maybe, a gray pot? What would you give? What would you give to your mom if you were giving like flowers in a flower pot? Probably kind of the orangey one, right? I guess I could use my little coral that I didn't use as my flower pot. That's exactly what I'm going to do. That ought to work good. So this is fire coral, actually. So we'll use that as our flower pot here. That way I get to use all of them after all. Okay, so now I'm going to grab a pretty big brush just to paint this on, because it doesn't have to be anything fancy. I'm going to kind of go right up to the flowers at some point so it kind of looks like the leaves and everything are kind of hanging down over the flower pot. That actually works out just right with the color there. So that's a pretty cute little color for a flower pot. So now that I've made a mess, and I don't think I have anything close. Oh well. So what we need is this to dry, and then we'll add some highlights and things to our flower. But I think, yeah, let's dry this real quick here. My little power dryer. See how good this works. I think we'll put the center of those, the center of the flowers probably yellow to kind of keep with that little theme. So let's see if I can get this going. This little thing reminds me of, did you ever see the movie Date Night with Tina Fey and Steve Carell when they're trying to get away from the bad guys and they're in that canoe and they start the canoe and it's like this little thing looks like it should put out a lot of power and you turn it on and it really doesn't. It's really warm, so it does its job, but it's not near as exciting as the sound of it. So that's what it makes me think of when I crank this thing on. As whereas like a hair dryer, you turn your hair dryer on and it goes. So, okay. Okay, so let's paint the center of our flowers here. This is the same yellow that I used for the door hanger. So this is canary yellow. So it's really bright. And I just want a little swirly bit of it in the middle here of my flowers. I don't know if you can see that. So I literally am just going to kind of make some swirls here. And I don't really necessarily think it has to be like too perfect looking, I guess. And I just dipped that. Okay, time out. Jill dipped it in the wrong color. Now I'm forced to go get something to clean up my mess. So, hang on 2 seconds. Coming back. Any good painter knows you should always keep your baby wipes right here because you make a mess, and I did for sure. And then I stuck my paintbrush in the wrong color, so there's that. Okay. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see. She knows exactly what she's doing, right? Okay, got the yellow. So I'm just kind of putting it in the middle and literally kind of making some swirls. So nothing too fancy. Kind of size proportionate to the size of your flower. Okay, we're going to go back and use white and kind of highlight some of the other little areas, so it'll be a little bit brighter too once we get that going. And then we're going to use a little black too to kind of outline some of it. So we'll get it all covered to where you can see it all really well. So, okay, what next? Let's do, I guess we're ready to go for the white. How many colors can one person use in one setting? That's the question. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going on. Oh my, come on. Okay. So we're gonna do some highlights and then kind of some outlining. So just got a little bit of some plain white here. Now luckily, sometimes you might have to do 2 colors, but these colors that I picked were all pretty, well, you got to keep in mind that I painted white over my little flower pot first. So that of course always helps your color a little bit better. So if I hadn't have done that, I would for sure be doing 2 coats of probably basically everything really, but I did have that on there first, so that kind of does help a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna take the white. I gotta get a, okay, I'm gonna take the white here. I'm gonna kind of start outlining my leaves and my flowers, just to kind of show a little bit of the shape that they are. I don't know if you would call this abstract necessarily, but there's definitely no like perfect way to it at all. Oh gosh. So I'm just kind of trying to get a little, I've only started with, try to be so awkward here. I've only started with like these little leaves and that little flower, kind of just trying to put them on the side. Again, I'm just kind of trying to get them like in the shape they were going, just so you can kind of tell, you know, where they start and where they stop. Not necessarily outlining it, but just getting a little definition there. This is going to be cute, cute, cute. Okay. Still got a couple more little leaves. Ah, crash. Couple more little leaves to do, and then I'll kind of go around the bottom of the flower pot. Okay. So that's kind of what we have so far. Oh, I didn't do, let's add a little white into the middle of our, kind of your little center of your flower here. Just kind of helps it too. So, okay, so now I'm going to add some black. Oh, I didn't do the flower pot. Let's do that. And I found a leaf. So I'm just going to kind of go along the edges here. I'll probably go right along the top. Now you can definitely kind of go throughout the middle, just kind of give it a little dimension in the actual flower pot itself. Now I'm going to use the black. Again, not much at all, and I'm using the tiniest little brush to do this little highlighting and outlining. So now on the black, I'm going to kind of, the black is where I'm going to kind of be more detailed, but I'm kind of doing it in the same way as I did like the highlighting, but this time I definitely kind of want to focus on the outside of all the different little shapes. So for instance, I'm going to go back to my leaf here. And this time I'm going to go kind of right along all the edge. I don't know if you can see that one so far. So this is just kind of trying to define the little shape we have going here. So everywhere that I did white is going to get outlined by black. And it's just going to be a little bit more defined. So I was kind of just doing hit and miss on the whites, and the black is going to be a little bit more along the whole section of the flowers or the petals or petals or the leaves. Professional painters might not like my way of doing things, but I'm a professional, right? I'm professional. I know what the heck I'm doing here, right? It's just kind of the way I've learned and what works for me. It's looking pretty good for my first little flower pot. I've painted some flowers before, but I just haven't really ever painted necessarily you know, a picture quite like this where they're all in kind of one setting. Kind of always just done it like individually, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna add a little swirl to the inside of my flower again. So there's what we have on those. And then I'm just gonna go all the way along the flower pot. we could go back. So this is what I have. Oh, that'll go away, right? This is what I have so far. So here's our little flower pot with our flowers. Now you could go, and I don't know, let's try it real fast. Okay, so I kind of just did a little crisscrossy there on our flower pot, just to kind of make it look a little bit more realistic there, I guess you could say. So that turned out pretty cute, right? So now let's see. This is the whole plan. So this is going to go, try not to get it, on here. How cute is that? It's gonna be super cute, little door hanger. Like I said, it's probably gonna say like, hello there, or hi, or, I mean, I guess it could say, hello spring, or hello summer, or something. Or if you were thinking about something like that for Mother's Day for your mom, we could always personalize it. Like my mom has one that I made for her that says, welcome to Mimi's. So like welcome to Nana's or welcome to Grandma or something like that. That might be a really cute idea too. So anyway, I'll show this to you one more time as I look and make sure I didn't miss like any leaves or flowers. So there's that cute little guy. So now I'm just going to get it attached to my door hanger and it'll be ready to go. So anyway, thanks for joining me this afternoon. And if you want to see how it ends up, then watch my Facebook page and I'll post a picture of it when I get it all attached and done. So anyway, see you guys later. Oh, bye.